What's up, everybody? I apologize. I had a unplanned interruption on my previous video. I was driving through this. I can't believe I just did that. That was terrible. I can't believe I just did what I did. Listen, you always got to remember, when you're on live, it's live. There is no rehearsal. I just drove through a construction site during my live video, and this guy, like, I was driving through this construction. I cannot believe I just did that on Facebook Live. I'm so embarrassed. I had to cut the video off and delete it. I was halfway through this good video I started this morning about this same topic. I'm driving through this construction site over on Tri-Hill Road, and they have cones that are literally so close together. You have to go 7 miles an hour to get through it. And one of the construction workers is smoking a cigarette and like walks up to like where I feel like I'm almost going to hit him. There's no stop sign. They're not directing traffic. I'm clearly in the right spot. And he looks at me and he's staring at me from 30 yards away all the way by. And I forgot that I was on live, and I looked at him, I go, "The beep are you looking at?" And I looked back at the camera and I realized I was on live. I'm so embarrassed. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. I dropped the F word in a very aggressive tone. This guy was like, what were you staring at? Like, and man, I don't know. I mean, I can't believe I just did that. So I'm sorry I cut the video off. So let's get back to it. I was talking about the difference between a dream and a goal. And I'm not real big on cliches and stuff like that, but there's certain things that I read or I see or I hear that stick with me, and then I pick it up and run with it. And I heard this, two things. One was, all things are possible at all times. Somebody said that to me, and I said, nah, come on. Of course, initially I was a skeptic. And he gave me like 3 or 4 examples of things that have happened either in the world or locally or sports or whatever that nobody ever thought could happen, but they happened without us even, good morning, Jessica, without us even knowing that it was going to happen. So literally all things are possible at all times. And the only difference is someone believing enough to take action to go out and try and do what it is that everybody thinks is not possible. So what does that mean in our personal life? For me, there's been 3 instances in my little circle that have reminded me that dreams are easily converted to reality with just a few things. A schedule, right? So if I dreamed that I wanted to lose 100 pounds, which I've been dreaming about that for the last 2 years. I've gained a bunch of weight. I've been thinking about it. I've been dreaming about it. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I just want it to magically happen. But until recently, I haven't physically taken any action to physically get there. Like I said in my mind that I did, but I didn't write it down. I didn't have a schedule. I didn't have accountability until recently. So here's a real quick example. There's 2 people I want to throw shout outs to that are doing this right now and seeing results, and they deserve all the credit in the world, and it's been an inspiration to me. First, let's talk about them, not about me. One is my son. Two or three things have happened with him within the last 18 months that have made me the proudest person on earth. They've shocked me. It's inspired me. My son 2 years ago got cut from the 7th and 8th grade basketball team. Nobody thought he was going to get cut. Everybody thought he was good enough. And he came out from tryouts after the 3rd day and got cut, sobbing. He was so upset. He was so mad. And for those of you that are just tuning in, the beginning of this video, I started this video 6 minutes ago, and I had to cut it off, and I had to delete it from the archives because I was driving through a construction zone. I'm so embarrassed about this. I was driving through a construction zone, and there's these cones that only allow literally like 5 feet for you to drive through. It's already annoying that there's construction everywhere. And I'm focused on driving through here. I'm looking at the video, and the construction guy about 30 feet ahead of me, like, kind of walks out towards the lane that I'm driving in, but not quite. But I'm worried that he's, I'm thinking I might hit him. Like, I need him to move. But I just stayed focused on driving down the path, and he's smoking a cigarette and like blowing the smoke out and scowling at me and looking at me. And while I was doing a live video, I looked over at him because I'm driving by, and he goes, so I looked over and I go, what the are you looking at? And I realized, and I looked back, it was on live. I was so embarrassed. I dropped the F-bomb in an aggressive tone on a live video. But just bad. I'm sorry. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. And so I had to cut off the old video, delete it, and now I'm back. So anyway, for those of you just joining in, if you were watching the other video, Brandon, stay tuned. You're one of the people I want to throw a shout out to. I have a tremendous amount of respect for what Brandon told me 6 months ago and where he is now. So go back to my son real quick. Goal, dreams, the difference is taking action and assigning a deadline and a real schedule to it. So my son got cut from the 7th and 8th grade basketball team 2 years ago. Broke his heart. He was mad. He was sad. He was inspired. He was motivated. So he decided to spend 3 days a week, 6 in the morning, with his basketball trainer, Sam Sutton. And he put in all this time and effort and energy. The next year he made the 8th grade team. He was, it might have been their leading scorer. I think he was. On 2 different occasions, he hit game-winning buzzer beaters. Had a great season. Loved his team, loved his teammates. Just phenomenal. He continued working because he knew that the next year he was going to have to try out for 9th grade, junior varsity, or varsity, because now he was in high school. He kept grinding. He made his schedule. 3 days a week, I'm going to be in the gym. 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to attend basketball camps. I'm going to do this. He started working out with Ali Johnson, the trainer. Flash forward 9th grade, he shows up for 9th grade tryouts, gets moved to the junior varsity group, then gets moved to the varsity group. He makes varsity as a freshman. I've never seen a kid so thrilled in his life. It was one of the proudest moments. It gives me goosebumps talking about it. It was one of the proudest moments of my life. My son went from being cut from the 7th and 8th grade basketball team to making varsity as a freshman. Then he went on to start a few games and played a lot. He got his varsity letter as a freshman. So he now believes in and has seen the benefits of hard work. And now he knows that when he wants to do something, because if you would have asked him when he got cut from the 7th and 8th grade basketball team, do you think you'll make varsity as a freshman? He would have said, man, that's just a dream. That's not real. That's not possible. So all he did was he established that's what he wanted to do. He was going to prove everybody wrong. And by the time he got to 9th grade, he was going to play varsity. And it's something we've talked about for years since he was in 4th grade. One of the bigger things is in high school is like if you're a freshman and you play varsity sports, it's a heck of an accomplishment. I mean, you're playing alongside and competing with kids that are 3 to 4, maybe 5 years older than you. So my son did that also this year, and last year he wanted to be the starting quarterback for York Suburban football, and he worked his ass off. He didn't make it last year. He didn't make it this year. He was on the team, but he wasn't the starting quarterback. 7 games into a 10-game schedule, he kept working. He finally got his shot, and the first game he comes in, and he had 3 or 4 touchdowns his first game, and now he's the starting quarterback of the number 1 football team in our district and the number 7 ranked team in the state. They went 10-0 this year. It's the first time in 60 years that team will live on in memory in the halls of York Suburban for decades to come. So you think about like that. All my son did was take this imaginary dream that he had and sat down and put some action behind it. He put deadlines behind it. I'm going to work out 3 days a week with my quarterback coach and my basketball coach, and I'm going to lift weights and get better at getting quicker and stronger and faster 4 days a week. He did it. He executed it. And at the end, his dream became a goal. The goal became reality just by doing that simple change in mindset. Second thing I want to point out, so congrats to my son, Camden Brewer. The kid twice in a matter of 18 months did something that I wanted to happen for him, but had my doubts and didn't believe was even possible until I watched him go do it. I love you, Camden. You're the best. I'm proud. Rob McGuire, what's up, bro? The second thing is there's a friend of mine who happens to be my barber, and about a year ago, Brandon Beatty started talking with me about real estate, and he said, I think I want to invest in real estate. And he would ask me all these questions, and I'd show up to get my hair cut, and he'd be reading real estate books or watching blogs or watching YouTube videos on real estate investing. And I think literally he told me one day, he's like, man, one day I have this dream of owning, 5-6 commercial real estate buildings. And we talked about how to go about it. He did his homework. And he set out a plan. He said, I'm going to save X amount of dollars each month. And the other day, he shows me this thing and he's like, look, man, I saved $15,000 in 6 months. And he knows exactly how much he needs to buy his first investment property, which is like a 6-unit commercial building that'll produce thousands and thousands of dollars of net profit and income for him and his family forever. So he had a dream of investing in real estate. He had a dream of building this real estate portfolio that meant that, his family would never have to worry about money. Like, he cuts hair and he's a barber because he loves it. But at the end of the day, he's putting himself in a position. I'm going through the car wash, so if I lose you, I apologize. But he's putting himself in a position by taking a dream, putting a plan together. That plan includes a schedule and accountability. Now, his dream is probably 6 months away from becoming reality. So right now, it's a goal. A dream is up here. A goal is on paper. A goal has accountability. A goal has a schedule. A goal has deadlines. Are we going to miss deadlines? Yes. But we're missing deadlines every day if we're just dreaming about doing stuff and we never do anything about it. So shout out to Brandon Beatty. The guy told me 6 months ago he was going to be a real estate investor, and now he's a couple months away from buying his first building. I'm proud of you, brother. And then for me, I've had these aspirations and dreams of running this large not large company like Sony or Coca-Cola or Amazon, but in my real estate world, a large company that employs 30 to 50 people and changes the lives of hundreds, if not thousands of people a year by being able to buy and sell real estate. And there's a number of ways that we do that. We buy properties a lot of times from folks that are having challenges with the property, and it's a source of stress and anxiety for them. And by us buying the property for cash, we relieve all of that stress. We put money in their pocket to give them the ability to move on and do what they want with their life. We sell income-producing properties to investors that work full-time jobs and have full-time careers and families, and we sell them income-producing turnkey rentals that allow them to have a real plan in place of retirement that doesn't require them working 3 or 4 jobs to save enough money to live off of when they decide that they don't want to work 9 to 5 every day, or they don't want to get up every day and put in a 12 to 15 hour shift or work overtime. So for my business, the expansion has nothing to do with money, and the ability to grow my business has everything to do with changing people's lives. And that was a dream of mine. Like, how can I build this business that has this amazing impact on people's lives within my community? And I realized that the answer to that question was leadership. And for most of my career, I've been a manager by design. I managed process, I managed data, I managed people. I didn't lead anybody. And if I did, it was by accident. I might have led by example because I worked my ass off. So 2 years ago, I joined a networking group, and I really started focusing on listening to books and following people that are leaders. And I've slowly started to change my daily habits, and I've changed the way that I interact with people with a leadership mentality. And I set goals and deadlines for not how much money I wanted to make, but how many new people I wanted to add to our business. And in order for me to add these people to our business, I had to lead. I couldn't manage. Manage would only help me get more out of what I already had. Leadership has this abundance mentality where things happen around you because of you, not because you're the person with your hand in the pot all day. So 2 years ago, I started down this path and this goal that I set, and I took specific action. And now I have a leadership coach. And when we sat with my leadership coach, he's like, hey, in order for you to lead people, you need to lead yourself. What are the things that you want to do better as a person, as a man, as a husband? And we sat down and it broke out into, and this is an example of me. I had this goal, and I had not even a goal, I had a dream of being physically fit. I had this dream of being thinner. I had this dream of running this business. I had this dream of this magical home life and family life where, everything was just wonderful, but yet I found myself not always being in the right mindset or the right person to do my part in that because of how I would, manage my lifestyle at work. And sometimes it gets hard. Work is hard and challenging and frustrating and can take a lot of energy out of you. So I hired a coach, and we sat down and we said, all right, well, here's how you get better at all those things. And the guy gave me a spreadsheet. I fill out a spreadsheet every day, and I'm judged on physical movement. Did I move for 25 minutes a day? Did I walk? Did I exercise? Did I run? Then one of the things we measure is my nutrition. And we have a nutrition plan that I eat. Supposed to stay away from breads and sugars, and I'm not supposed to eat after a certain time of day. And I get points for that. I get to have a point system. So I get 2 points for doing that. Great. I get 1 point for doing it okay. I get 0 if I just didn't pay any attention to it. Then I'm measured by my personal space. Did I spend an hour's worth of uninterrupted time with my wife and children? Like, I'm scored on it. If I don't put my phone away, ignore the television, and focus on my family for an hour, I get 0 points for that day. I'm judged on how I led or interacted with the people that I work with. Like, did I go out of my way to have an impact on somebody's life? Did I stop and talk to someone in my office and ask them how they're doing? Did I pull somebody aside and say, hey, I see that you're struggling with this. Let me tell you what I know about that. Let me teach you what I've learned about this particular issue, and I hope that it'll help you, and expect nothing in return. So I get measured on that. I get measured on one of the things he calls is, did you show up today? Like, literally, did you do the things that you were supposed to do? Did you show up? Like, and I'm gauged on it. Also, meditation. I wanted to be just a clear, I had a short fuse. I was always on this emotional roller coaster where I'd be happy, excited, and I'd get frustrated and mad. And one of the things that he suggested was meditation would really help me get better control over my thoughts and my emotions, so that I was more constant even through challenging times. With meditation, I've learned that I'm able to stay the course and be focused even when things get challenging or issues come up. What's up, Doug? And it's had a phenomenal impact. And if I don't do it every day, though, I'm not constantly making progress or moving towards my goal. So I need to meditate every day. I need to read affirmations every day. So I've been through 3 or 4 of these now. I read this one not every day. Some days I don't do it. And but the scorecard tells me about myself. At the end of the day, that scorecard sends me a score. So a good score for me, if I'm really doing what I want to do to reach my goals, I'm a 14 plus. Anything less than a 14, and I didn't show up that day. So for me, the difference between a dream of being this wonderful father, this dream of being the husband that my wife deserves, this dream of being the friend that my friends can count on and rely on and look to for guidance and support, and a leader at the office to get the company to where it belongs and reach its full potential. If I'm not doing those things, I'm not really committed to my goal. So all I had to do to go from that dream of being all these things and changing my life was to assign specific action around it. And they have a deadline. I need to do those by the end of each day. And if I don't, I've lied to myself. I said and I think that's a lot of times when we say we dream of something and we don't take action, we're kind of lying to ourselves, because if we don't plan and we don't schedule and we don't hold ourselves accountable to do the things that we know will get us there, we're just lying to ourselves, we're lying to our family, we're lying to our coworkers. When you really hold yourself accountable to do those things, that's when you're starting to physically move towards your goals. And those dreams no longer become dreams, they become goals with real deadlines and a real possibility of being achieved. And that's where I believe the line of all things are possible at all times becomes real. So get up, do something, get the hell out of your own way. Stop telling yourself you're too busy. Stop telling yourself you're too tired. Stop telling yourself you can't do it. You don't make enough money. You can't run fast enough. You can't jump high enough. My son now, his thing is he wants to dunk a basketball by the end of this basketball season. So what do you think he does? He does squats. He does box jumps. He goes out in the driveway when it's 45 degrees and 37 times goes up and tries to jump a basketball to gauge how close he's getting. So he's doing what it takes to possibly dunk a basketball. He's 5'11". I never dunked a basketball. I always wanted to. I always dreamt about dunking a basketball, but I never did anything about it. So I believe my son, might not happen this year the way he wants it to, but I think he'll dunk a basketball because he turned his dream into a goal, and now he does stuff that will help him do what he wants to do. So that's it. Take this as an inspiration. If there's something you want to do, write it down today. And then when you write it down, say, I want to do it by next year. And then figure out what the 5 or 6 milestones are that you can't just wake up one day and be a millionaire. Right? You have to have a plan. That's a lot of people, they dream about having money. But how are you going to get it? You already have some type of money. What are you going to do with that money or that time that you have to make more of it? So if you want to be a millionaire, write it down. Figure out first, before you get to $1 million, you need to get to 1,000. Before you get to 100,000, you need to get to 20,000. Before you get to, there's milestones. It doesn't happen overnight unless you hit the lottery. So becoming a millionaire is as simple as writing it down, coming up with a real plan. It might require research. Like, how are you going to make your money? Is it going to be real estate? Is it going to be, are you going to design or invent something? Or are you going to sell stuff on the internet? I don't know. But come up with a plan and then put deadlines behind that plan and then go do that stuff. And I promise you, when you start doing that stuff, you're going to start to see the results. You're going to not make $1 million overnight, but you're going to make 10,000. You're going to make 5,000. Then you take that 5,000 and you go apply it somewhere else, and now you double that money. It's not as hard as what we make it feel like all the time. We got to get out of our own way. Get up and do something. Today's the perfect day to start. I'm going to start. So this part for me, I'm going to go read my aspirations. It should be my affirmations real quick. I'm going to get that done. I already did 30 minutes of book reading today. I was listening this morning as I was getting ready in the shower. I listened to, it's the 3rd time now I've been through that book. I'm listening to Leaders Eat Last. I went through the chapter today that was pretty awesome, that talked about baby boomers and why they were the way that they were and how they changed the country forever. Pretty awesome story, actually. And now I'm going to do my affirmations. This is a form of leadership for me. Hopefully this message, lands with somebody that does something with it. And again, if you're just tuning in, I started a video 45 minutes ago. I was rocking it. I was killing it. I was getting my message across. I drove through a construction site, and this construction worker was eyeballing me, smoking a cigarette, scowling at me, and walked up within a foot of my car. And I looked over and I go, what the F are you looking at? Right in the live video. So horrible. So embarrassing. Anyway, so I had to cut the video off and I deleted it and started over. So always pay attention when you're on a live video. Know that what you're saying is live. The guy really ticked me off this morning. I don't know why he was staring at me. I wanted to park and go back and say, hey man, are you okay? Are you having a good day? I didn't want to fight him. I wanted to help him. The guy looked like he was having a rough day. I mean, it's 45 degrees out. He's probably been standing outside since 6 in the morning. I probably should have been a little bit more understanding. He's probably not thrilled about what's going on today. And he was digging a hole in the concrete. It's hard work. So everybody have a good day. It's Friday. It's going to be hard to stay on my nutrition plan today. Eastern Market is open today. My favorite boiled pot pie. baked mac and cheese and stewed tomatoes, one of my favorite days of the week. But the one thing I do is if I do that, I won't eat the rest of the day. I drink a lot of water, and I'll double down on some exercise so I can treat myself on Friday. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanksgiving is only a couple weeks away. Start to get excited about that. Take the time today to take something you've dreamt about or something you wish you could do and write it down and make a plan and make a schedule. And then just start doing the things that you wrote down. And I promise you, even if you don't hit your goal, you're going to do more than you thought you could do. And that is really what it's all about. For us as people, the only thing I want to do each day is get better than I was the day before. And it's an amazing feeling. It's a focus of mine. I hope and pray and try every day to get better and better as a leader. That is my primary focus. I want to be known when I pass as a great leader. That was my dream. It's now my goal, and every single day I do something to become a better leader. So whatever it is that you want to be, write it down and then come up with a plan. All right, y'all. Have a good day.